This week's episode of The Lawmen, Base Reeves opens with Reeves in custody, being tried for murder. How did he get here? Who did he kill? It's time to find out. The famed lawman finds himself on the other side of the courtroom. This time, the bounty was on his head for a murder he had committed. Reeves isn't generally one to play God with the lives of even horrible guys, but we quickly understand what drives Base to this point and the demons he can't keep buried within him. As Base Reeves awaits the outcome of the trial, his thoughts return to S.L. Pierce scalping another soldier. Base Reeves is beginning to feel the mental strain of every bounty. Base feels guilty every time he gets a fresh reward. But in episode 7, he pushes things a bit too far and ends up in a situation from which he might not be able to get out. A marshal arrives at Base Reeves' home to take him into custody at the beginning of the episode. Judge Isaac Parker starts to sentence him shortly after, and then the show flashes back to 6 weeks earlier, to a scene in which Base and Judge Parker are having dinner with their spouses. Base arrested his most recent prize with Billy Crow, but when they slept and woke up in the morning, they realized that Billy Crow's cook had released the prisoner early in the morning. The cook disagreed with Base about taking a black old woman to the hanging judge. The quarrel broke out, and as the cook pushed too far, Base shot him in the neck. Billy Crow knows that Base Reeves will try to narrate the truth, and it will eventually get him hanged. So he tells Base that they must change the story because Judge Parker doesn't take random killings lightly. Base Reeves obviously has no intention of changing the story. They loaded the corpse onto the cart and took off. Jenny knows something is wrong when a small child arrives at the Reeves home, asking for Base and Sally. At last, Sally confesses to her mother about what she had done to the little girl at the carnival. Sally has lived her life through the eyes of her father and tries to emulate him, which sometimes gets her into trouble with the white members of the community. Jenny gets furious with Sally for her actions, even though Sally has done exactly what her father would have done in that kind of situation. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a badge that will protect her like her father. Jenny warns Sally to always watch her tongue around white folks. Although it is not clear how the truth about Billy Crow's cook, Willie Leach, got out, we see a marshal show up at Base's door to arrest him. He is being charged with the murder of Willie Leach. After the arrest, Judge Parker sits with Base Reeves to hear what he thinks before the court session. Base made it clear to Judge Parker that if he was going down, he wouldn't be going down alone, because he knows a lot of Judge Parker's dirty works and where all the bones are buried. During the court session, Judge Parker gave his verdict on the case of Base Reeves killing Willie Leach. He says that due to the evidence presented to him by the state and the defense, to our biggest surprise, he finds Base Reeves not guilty. This is the first time we see Judge Parker spare anyone with murder charges. Base Reeves' threats obviously worked. After returning home from court, we see Sally leaving what appears to be a message, indicating she is running away. As this happens, Base tells his wife that he has come across a boy whom he loved as his own child, and that boy was killed. He tells her that he is going after the man who killed him. As the episode comes to an end, we see Base, Billy Crow, and Deputy Marshal Lynn ride out together.